One is university preaching.
And online classes.
Online preaching. Zoom Devta. Prison preaching, yes. Prison preaching. What else?
So we also do Bhagavatam installation preaching.
Bhagavatam installation preaching.
Yeah, the Bhagavatam side, we do a program in the house, and through that we do preaching.
That's also book distribution, actually.
Drama, dance, cultural programs.
Okay. Dramas, cultural programs. That's part of the festival, isn't it? It's part of the festival. Anything on Mataji's side?
By
Phone preaching, phone,
Phone?
online, WhatsApp status.
Social media. That's also covered on the one-to-one preaching, right?
Online.
What else?
Sharing the sound. The sound.
It's already covered. Food for life. Govinda's Food for Life. Everything is covered.
living by examples.
That's already. I told that very big. What about Bhakti Viksha? Bhakti Viksha also we preach. That's also a program. We are here for Bhakti Viksha.
Yeah. So we talk about the house programs.
Yeah.
Bhakti Namahatta, both.
Namahatta preaching. In India, we call it you call it here as a Namahatta. We call it there as an outpost center. Outpost.
Outpost.
OUTPOST. Outpost center. And then it comes to extension center. Then it promotes to the preaching center. Then it's called the temple. So this kind of place is like this Gokul Namahatta. In India we call it as outpost center. Because in the beginning Prabhu was introducing me, and I don't know how many of you understand the word outpost. Right? So in Haryana we have 20 outpost centers like this. Apart from the temple. In Haryana. Like, yeah. What about fundraising? Is it also a way of preaching? Yes. We do fundraising here? Or it will come from the demigods? Huh? They'll supply something? No? When you do fundraising? Cow protection, thank you. That's good. Cow protection, prison preaching, conventions. Where?
National convention.
National conventions.
The organized
September.
For the devotees? For whole Malaysia you organize. Wow, very big and it's kind of a festival, you know. It's kind of a festival organization.
It's a gathering for 3
You
days.
can say it's a retreat. You can write on the retreat. Right? Retreat programs. Retreats and yeah. That's also fundraising. Prabhu has a hand up. Yes, Prabhu. Chinese. Yes. preaching to the Western audience. That's also one.
Oh, he does through Boga collection, he does preaching.
Yeah.
Boga collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. For life.
Preaching to the Western audience. Maybe it's Chinese or local. Malay. That's all. Not allowed. It's not allowed. They are Muslims. Okay. So we preach to the Muslims. Internal. Not external. Okay. Thank you very much for this inputs. Now we're going to build on this. Some of the ways we preach. So these are different types of preaching or the ways of preaching. Now we want to understand the two kinds of preaching. Please write it down, the two kinds of preaching. You can write it down here also. The two kinds of preaching. One is called the one-time preaching, and the second is called the cultivation program. One is called the one-time program, yes, and it's called OTP. You got OTP? Everybody is afraid of OTP. At least in India, we saw. So many funds go away. The OTP. Sharing the OTPs. OTP and cultivation. One is called one-time program and second is called cultivation. Now let's try to understand what is the one-time program and what is called the cultivation program. First of all, one-time program means connecting people. Please write it down. One-time program means connecting people to Krishna consciousness. And you can also write down seeing the spark and fanning the spark. Seeing the spark and fanning the spark. If you see the spark of devotion in somebody, then you fan it. That is called one-time preaching. It means connecting people for the first time in Krishna consciousness. And as the name implies, it is one time. Just like festivals, just like Harinam, just like Sankirtan, just like book distribution. These are all different types of one-time preaching, my dear devotees. These are all different types of one-time preaching, where we touch the lakhs and millions of people. They come to the festival in thousands of numbers. But that is only one-time preaching. And also, it affects the goodwill of ISKCON. Right? Like Prabhu was saying about prison preaching, children's preaching, right? Old age preaching, food for life. Is it not building the goodwill of ISKCON in the mind of people in general, or in the minds of those who are on the administration? Right? These are good people, you know. Hare Krishna people, they are really nice. They are doing so many wonderful social activities throughout the year, isn't it? Right? So it is also building the goodwill of ISKCON. Am I right or not?
Right.
Right? This is called one-time preaching. And second is called cultivation. Second is called cultivation. It is called cultivation program. Hmm? Cultivation program means to train someone as a devotee. Right? That is the meaning of cultivation. To turn someone, a materialistic person, into a devotee. Right? And that requires cultivation. That requires what?
Cultivation.
Now, you all are being, many of you are in ISKCON from last 20 years or more than that. Right? But we see that the hundreds and thousands of people come through the OTB program, but they will not stay back. Even if they come for some time, they go away. They won't sustain. Right? That's what Prabhu said, so many Bhakti Viksha open, then it collapsed after some time. Right? It happens. Yeah? If there is any, fault in our process, in prasadam, in deities, in our Krishna conscious philosophy, is there any fault? Then why people go away? Even after hearing so many lectures, even after taking so many meals of prasadam, even after engaging so many different services, still they go away after some time. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes? Now, my dear devotees, my question is why?
Cultivation continues.
No, we do cultivate, but still they go away. What is the reason?
No devotee care.
Huh?
No devotee care.
No, we do devotee care, we do calling, we call them, we invite them, we receive them, we serve them, still they go away. Why?
They don't get a taste. They don't get a taste.
See, they were getting the taste. They were getting the taste. That's why they were coming. But after coming here, still they go away. Why?
They're not chanting properly.
They are not chanting properly. How do you say? They are not chanting properly. Even if somebody is chanting properly for some days or some weeks or some years even, you see that some people, they go away after that. Why? They expect something. Yeah. He's saying that they are expecting something and they couldn't get, and then they go away. Or even if they get it something, still they go away. They still go away. What is the reason?
Lacking of
They get it or not get it?
lacking of faith.
Offenses?
Offenses. They didn't have started the bhakti even. What to talk about the offenses? So let me cover this now. So the prime reason is Rupa Goswami says in the Upadeshamrita. How many of you have read Upadeshamrita? Nectar of Instruction. Nectar of Instruction. How many of you have read? So what does the 7th verse of Upadeshamrita says? Nobody remembers that. We remember the 4th verse actually. Remember the 7th verse. The 7th verse says, Syad Krishna Charita Tisitapta Vidya. It says, Syat Krishnam Charitati Siddhartha. See the deities, they are present here. Is Krishna himself. The holy name is Krishna himself. Right? The prasadam is Krishna himself. The name, the qualities, the form, everything is related to Krishna. Syat Krishnam Charitati. Everything is present here. Siddhartha Vidya. Siddhartha means, but we are inflicted by the disease that is called jaundice. Right? And in the Sanskrit word, it is called avidya. What do you call? And don't forget this name. I will ask you in the next class as well. What is that?
Avidya.
Avidya. How many of you have read the Srimad Bhagavatam or reading Srimad Bhagavatam till 4th canto you have read? How many of you? Raise your hand. Bas. You have not started even. How many of you started reading Srimad Bhagavatam? You are so good devotees. You are not studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpatru galitam phanam. Pipata. So that is the real essence of the essence. Rasamalyam. It's a rasamalyam. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that when Brahma created this universe, but before that, he created the 5 kinds of avidya. The 5 kinds of avidya is created by Brahmaji. Right? And what is there in 5 kinds is Tamishara, Andha Tamishara. The 5 kinds of avidyas are there. It has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam, what he has created. And what does it mean? Avidya means to consider oneself as matter, as a product of matter. Write it down. Avidya means to consider oneself as a product of matter and try to enjoy the matter. To consider oneself the product of matter and try to enjoy that matter. And that is called avidya. And that is called avidya. Now, may I ask you this question now? One has got the disease called jaundice. If that person relishes anything sweet, even the sugar cane, what is the medicine for the jaundice person?
Sugarcane.
Sugar cane, right? It is the sweetest part. But it looks bitter or sweet for the diseased person. It looks bitter. Similarly, Rupa Goswami says, in the next line he says, Na rochikano. Because of this avidya, you didn't get the taste. My dear devotees, you didn't get the taste of relishing Krishna Prasadam, seeing the deities as the Lord Himself. Na rochikano. You're not getting the taste. Then what is the remedy? What is the remedy? Taking sugar cane, right? So every day you all take sugar cane. Then only you got to overcome the disease of avidya. Now, Rupa Goswami says in the 3rd line, he says, by the process, these 2 processes, you can overcome this avidya. And what is that? And you can write it down. What is that? No. Let's hear from Rup Goswami. He says Adrat and Anudinam. Write it down. Adrat and Anudinam. Adrat and Anudinam. What does it mean? Adrat means carefully. Adrat means carefully. And Anudinam means regularly or constantly. By these two processes, the avidya can be overcome. Now, careful in what sense? Careful of two things also. Now, you can write it down. The two things we need to be really careful, dear devotees, and let others be careful of those two things. The two things are the sense gratification. First is sense gratification. If somebody is suffering from diabetes and you are giving them the sweets and everything, is the diabetes going to be cured or not? No. Similarly, if sense gratification is just like a poison, it's just like a poison. Your avidya will more increase and increase. And second thing is Vaishnava Aparadha. You need to be careful of these two things. Vaishnava Aparadha, Uthe Hati Mata. It's like a mad elephant fence. And second is sense gratification. You have to be really careful of these two things. And what you need to do? Anudinam. Anudinam. Regularly practicing Krishna consciousness. And that's why I am referring here the first canto once again. The conversation between Narada Muni and Srila Vyasadeva. Anybody remember? Vyasadeva was despondent. He was not feeling okay, not satisfied, even after compiling the Vedas. Have you heard that? Right? Even after compiling so many literatures, he was not satisfied. Now, what is the reply of Narada Muni? Narada Muni said that you didn't have done this Anuvarnitaha and Anukirtita. Regularly, you didn't have glorified Krishna in the Vedic literatures. That's why you're not satisfied. It's a very significant for a practitioner devotee that if you are not constantly engaged in Krishna's service in the form of hearing and chanting, our avidya will more and more increase. So cultivation means, now write it down, the cultivation means taking the avidya, the person to take coming from avidya to vidya, that is called cultivation. The process of cultivation means taking the person away from avidya to the vidya, giving them the taste of Krishna consciousness, dear devotees, giving them the taste of Krishna consciousness. Right? And that's why the cultivation starts. You can start with 10 minutes of cultivation. Just like Prabhu was saying that home visits. Just 10 minutes, 20 minutes every day. It requires, right? Once a week is not okay. We need a regular dose actually. Our vidya is so big. How can we? So we need an association. So the cultivation means, write it down, the cultivation means associating with the devotees. Through the association of devotees, the cultivation happens. Right? So what do we do in the devotee association? Just hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna. Hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna. And that's why now I am going to refer. Once again I am going to refer. Because you might be thinking, these are given in the Shastras. Not that I am making my own understanding. It is there. Rupa Goswami is saying, Brahmaji is saying, now Narad Muni we have seen. Now fourth Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what does it say? In the Jiva Jago song. Huh? What is that? Jiva Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole, Katanitra Jao Maya, Pishachi Rakone. What is the next line? What is the next line? Huh? Pick up? No. What is the next line? Nobody remember? भजिबो बोलिया ऐसे संसार भितारे भूलिया रहिले तुमी अविद्यार भरे right? भूलिया रहिले तुमी. Why did you came to this material world? To remember me. But what are you doing? भूलिया रहिले तुमी अविद्यार भरे. You forgot me. You forgot me. Avidyar bhare. Now here also Bhakti Thakur says Avidyar bhare. So dear devotees, so cultivation requires patience. Right? It's just like a small child. Right? And do so many things. Here and there, and do all kind of nasty things. You know, all the children that do. But still, you need to be really patient. And why? Why do we need to do that? You know, cultivation means we are not only cultivating actually. Are we the only cultivation cultivating the people? Or who else is cultivating? Yes? Who else is cultivating? Tell me, who else is cultivating?
Other religious people.
The material energy is also cultivating. The Maya Devi, she is the best cultivator, you know. Huh? She is cultivating from so long. The millions of years she is cultivating, and not even one day. She is cultivating 24 hours, 365 days. She has a very strong cultivation process, you know. The whole world outside this room, she is cultivating very nicely. She is cultivating, showing the different things, this and that, forgetting everything. And even if somebody is coming, material energy says, why you are going there? What are you getting there? I am your only friend. I am your companion from so long. Why you are leaving me? Why you are leaving me? I am there for you for every time, in pain, pleasure, everything I was there. Why you are leaving me and going there? So it's a fight. It's a combat fight between the material energy and the preacher. The preacher is trying to pull the devotee, and the material energy is pulling with so much energy. Right? She also has patience. So sometimes devotees ask me that how long should we cultivate? Because the people, they are so much. Until they block your number. If they block your number, then also you can go to their home and try to cultivate. Give them some prasad from somewhere, right? So that they can remember Krishna. Preaching means letting people remember Krishna. Write it down. Preaching means letting people remember Krishna, because this is the only way to remember Krishna through the devotees. Devotees only take pains to make people realize Krishna and remember Krishna. Otherwise, who will let you chant Hare Krishna? For the devotees' mercy only you are chanting Hare Krishna. Right? And that is why never leave the devotee. Never leave the devotee. Even if he's gotten so much shocks, pains in his life, no problem. We are there to help you. We are there to support you. So cultivation. So the preacher's side, from the preacher's side, I am saying, from 10 minutes of daily chanting to the 4 to 5 hours of daily programs, that is the correct process of cultivation. From 10 minutes, gradually taking them to the 4 to 5 hours daily practice of Krishna consciousness. That is the process of cultivation. Dear devotees. How to do that? And that's called systematic process. We'll come to that tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening we're going to conduct how to do that. Cultivation. And you know who would win between Maya and the devotee? The devotee will definitely win. Param Vijay De Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Ki Jai. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, a devotee wins. Right? She is a cultivator. Material energy is a cultivator. She is cultivating. She is giving slaps this way and that way, making them different. So she is also cultivating. Not be telling people, please take to Krishna consciousness. Why you are taking so much pain going here and there? We are also cultivating in a simple way, in a more palatable way. Why you are taking so much pains and taking so much slaps from the material energy? Why you are doing so? Why you are doing so? But still people are. So that's why we need to understand how to cultivate. We need to understand. She is a very nice cultivator. Netflix, mobile phone. She gives so many things to cultivate, and sometimes our devotees also fall down. In that avidya, the devotees also fall down. That's why, dear devotees, even if we are 40 years old or 30 years old, we need devotee association. Without that, we can also fall down in the material consciousness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we will leave you here with this, and if you have any one question, two question, you can ask, and then we can. Tomorrow we are going to start with how to do the systematic preaching, right? Cultivation. Want to learn that?
Yes.
Right? Prabhu is very enthusiastic. Yes, I have to learn that. I have to learn that. So my way is that I'll cover some concepts and then I will take some questions. Some concepts are covered, then I'll take some questions.
Hare Krishna. In Bhagavatam it is said, avidya is less intelligent.
Where it is said? Where?
Bhagavatam, less intelligent.
Now, avidya means that ignorance.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance is less intelligent.
Okay. Okay, we can take that.
I recently went through.
But original, the synonyms or the meaning of this, the word avidya is ignorance. Ignorance of the self, ignorance of the Supreme Person, ignorance of the relation between. That is called sambandh gyan is very necessary in order to revive oneself from this avidya to vidya.
So one more question. One more question. Can you say more how to do this house program? Because as we go to our house, we simply cannot say Krishna is.
Yes. Wait. Achha, you want to say? No, I can understand. I will repeat the question. Prabhu is saying that how when we go to the house program, you can't say that you do Krishna Supreme Person and then they come to Krishna consciousness. Is it your question? So that's why. How but we'll do it tomorrow. Systematically. Systematically how to do house program, how to do children's preaching, how to do all those things. How many want to learn the children's preaching? Mataji, Prabhu also want to learn, children. Mataji don't want to learn the children's preaching, Want to learn? Okay.
The attendance form I pass around, where is it? Everybody sign up, ready? Whoever never sign up, whoever ever sign up, please write your names and everything. Very important.